All right, I wanted to take a few minutes to tell you about an etiquette class that was held in Second Life. I was sitting in my office at Southern Miss in Macklemore Hall and got a little notice. I had Second Life open and I got a little notice that there was going to be an etiquette class put on by the Texas State Technical College. And so I went ahead and put on my best formal outfit and headed over to their website. And you'll notice here that this is a collection of people, none of whom I knew before, but you have a couple of guys, and then you have one woman in a white ball gown. You've got a couple of other women dressed up, and you'll notice in this picture that everybody has their avatar bubble over their head, and I'm Harley Doc Outlander with the gray hair right in front of you. And then you'll notice that you have a couple of TSTC people, and then Gwinnett is a administrator over at Kennesaw State College in Georgia. So these people are from all over the country. So we proceeded inside, and they have this room set up with all of the tables and chairs, and you can see Gwinnett, you can see Karen, you can see Nick A, and this has been set up to have a formal dinner. Then here's a close-up from above of what the table setting looks like, and we'll come back and take a look at that a little bit farther down the road. So the first thing we did was kind of mill around and had a cocktail party, and you'll notice that there looks to be about 12 or 13, 14 participants, maybe a few more. You'll notice in the bottom left-hand corner of the slide that people are talking through text. That's called open chat text, and basically you key in just like you would an instant message, and everybody can hear everybody else. So it'd be like if you were in a big room and you could hear everybody at one time. So this is just another shot, and it shows that a couple of the other people that have joined us. It shows you Nick over on the right-hand side in the gray suit. He is the one presenting, and we'll talk a little bit more about him a little bit later. But you'll notice how realistic all of this looks. The chairs look real, the walls look real, and for those of you that don't know a lot about Second Life, everything that you see here has been created by users. All of those textures on the wall were probably created in Photoshop, for example. All of these chairs and tables were built by hand by people who do that sort of creative work. Here again, just a little swivel on that. Now, here we're having the cocktail party, and you'll notice above Nick's head where he has his bubble that there is a green waves. That indicates that he's using a microphone and he is speaking, and so we can hear him through our speakers even though everybody else is not using a microphone. So you can do a lecture, you can do training, you can do anything that you want to do with this. And you can speak to the group just as if you were speaking in front of them. And so you'll notice there's a table in the back that's all set up. There's a champagne fountain, there are glasses, and there are plates. And of course, while we're milling around here, Nick is beginning to tell us about the etiquette of the cocktail party. How you put hors d'oeuvres on your plate, how many that you pick, what you do about the alcohol. You'll notice Gwinnett in front of me has a champagne glass. Deborah has a champagne glass. You can see that I have one, although I'm not facing you. And so what we did was just touch that champagne fountain, and we all got a glass of champagne. Of course, the avatars can't really drink, but it's still the simulation. So we probably spent about 10 minutes doing this cocktail party with a lot of very good information. And you'll notice that down on the left that they are asking some questions, and so the participants were able to ask questions and they were able to get answers in real time. And of course, even while that was going on, other people could listen to what Nick had to say. Here again, here's just another image of that. You can see the green waves, and of course they get larger as he's speaking, and you can see a little bit more about the people in the room. Now, once he was done doing the cocktail party, we all went and sat down. And I should mention that during the cocktail party, he made everybody go around and introduce themselves through private instant messaging. So we had to do the same sort of parlor games that one would do at a regular cocktail party. We just did it in Second Life. So you can see that now we're finding a place to sit, and you can see I'm sitting at a table with Deborah, and it looks like, I don't remember Serendipity's first name, and then Karen. And you'll see down on the left that there's a couple of instant messaging. It says I am : that means that's a private conversation. And you'll see Harley Doc, I'm saying hello to Karen. And we're kind of getting to know each other while we sit at the table. And just another shot of the room, so you can get a little bit. You can see that that Kitty is drinking her champagne. I have my champagne glass in my hand as well. Here's an overhead with the four of us sitting around the table. All right. Now you'll notice that at everybody's place setting, they have the charger plate, 2 forks, the knife, 3 spoons, the dessert fork and spoon. You have a bread plate, you have the bread, a couple of glasses. And so this is when Nick started talking about what silverware you use for what do you do with your napkin, how do you eat your bread. And so we kind of just sort of went through some of this and got the basics. Then you'll notice we now have salads on our in front of us. That was all done through a scripted menu system that was written in programming code. And so we're looking down on the table, and now that we've learned about our napkin and the bread, now Nick is telling everybody how to properly eat salad, what to do about the salad dressing, how to order that, what utensil to use. And then you'll see that a menu has dropped down in the top right, and that menu came out by simply taking your mouse and hovering over the charger plate, and you could click and the menu would drop down. And so after the salad, we made a selection and we got the soup, and he went through how do you eat the soup, how do you properly use your spoon, and then people at the bottom were able to talk and joke and comment, and then sometimes there were instant messages going across the between people as well. Then next we went on and he talked about what do you do with your entree, what fork do you use. He talked about how to properly cut up your meat, how to do some of the other things. Then here's just a close-up of the table setting with the bread plate and the entree. Now you'll notice in this image that I now have my text window open, and you can see what's being displayed in the top left is all of the open chat. So that's like people talking that you can overhear and conversation. And then you'll notice all the way across the bottom there are all these little tabs. There's one for Deborah, there's one for Nick, there's one for Holly, there's one for Gwinnett. These are all people that I'm having private conversations with, all done through the chat window that's up here. And so it takes a fair amount of skill to pay attention to the open chat, talk to 5 different people. You'll notice Nick, remember, is the presenter, so I'm talking to him while he's presenting. And I can talk to people all the way across the room that I couldn't otherwise talk to in a normal setting. Then you can kind of see in this picture we had the dessert. So they talked about, Nick went through and talked about the dessert. And of course, I think Nick's he's sitting somewhere over here. And we go through all of that. Then here's some more chat in the chat window, and you'll notice that one of these is yellow, and when somebody sends you an instant message, your tab down here turns yellow. So here you can see everybody's name, and this is at the end of dinner. You can see the little dessert cup on some of our plates. Nick's talking here about what you do at the end of the meal, and how do you pay for it if you have to, and what do you do with the host. And this is just another shot of after the dinner's over. Here we're kind of standing up and getting ready to leave. So some people are going. This is the end. You'll notice my table mates have left. Karen now has turned on her headset because you can see the little green over her head. And now we're back to the beginning. And the reason that we're showing you this video is because after I attended this 1-hour etiquette session, I can certainly vouch that I don't think there's anything somebody could have done in a real-life face-to-face setting that was not done in this meeting in Second Life. And I think it's a real testimonial of how you can use a virtual reality program, whether it's proprietary and made specifically for a company, or whether somebody uses Second Life to provide the kind of training that without this requires travel, a great deal of expense, and a great deal of logistics. And so just kind of give you an idea of where this is going. And Second Life was started in 2003. It really didn't take off until 2005. Who knows what you're going to see in 2015, but this is certainly where things are going.